Welcome to First Down Punts, a show about the on-field and off-the-field news in the world of pro football, as well as how it relates to fantasy football all season long. Thanks for joining in, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And now, here is your host, Orcus.
Hey, welcome in everyone to another episode of First Down Punts. I'm your host Orcus, and today we're going to be going over my top 10 cornerbacks for the 2025 NFL Draft. It's going to happen here in about 4 days or so. A little bit of news, Tre'Davious White re-signed with the Bills after, I think, a year with the Rams, maybe two. I think it was just 1 year with the Rams. When healthy, man, he's a top-tier corner. And also in other news, the cornerback news, Jalen Ramsey and the Miami Dolphins are looking to make a trade, get him going somewhere else. I wonder where he could go, or a lot of places, but definitely something to pay attention to. Keep your eye out for, because Jalen Ramsey can still play football. Don't fool yourself. But like I said, today we're going to do the top 10 cornerbacks for 2025, and we're going to kick it off with number 10, Melo Datson, cornerback out of Kansas, 6'1", 192. Ran a 4.59 40. That's a little slower than you like, but he's a damn good player, and it hasn't seemed to affect him yet. So he had 49 tackles last year, 1 tackle for loss, 5 interceptions, and 7 pass breakups. You love that from a corner. Had a forced fumble last year. In his career, he had 4 pick sixes in college, and 2 of them came in 2024. Both of those are school records for Kansas. So clearly a playmaker, and that's the first word I wrote down with him. He is a playmaker. Really good awareness, knows how to read a quarterback. He's got wide receiver-like ball skills, active hands, and quick feet, man. He knows how to break on the ball, really alert. When balls get tipped in the air, this guy just comes up with it somehow. And he's a long physical player. He's good in run support, an awesome tackler, and knows how to blitz. Like, he's got skills that are transitional to the NFL, and is going to end up on a team somewhere. He's probably going to be a late third, early 4th round pick, somewhere around there, but definitely a guy that makes plays on the ball, and I can't wait to see what he does in the NFL. On to number 9, Azeria Thomas out of Florida State University. 6'1", 197, ran a 4.58 40. Another one of those guys with a little bit less speed than you'd like, but last year, he had 52 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, 1 interception, and 4 pass breakups. So not the turnover machine that we've seen with Datson, but still a good active player. He's got long arms, active hands. He is physical, and he plays through the ball, man. He's got an amazing ability to shift gears. Quick speed, deep speed, whatever you need, this guy knows how to do it and get his feet moving. And he shadows wide receivers. For it saying he ran a 4.58, I don't believe it. Let's put it that way. Because when you get on the tape and watch him on the field, he knows how to shadow wide receivers. He's right next to him. He's got good read and react, play recognition, can play man-to-man press. He's physical enough too. He's good in run support. I would like him to improve his tackling, but he's not like a liability. He's got some missed tackles, but nothing that like, oh, we can't fix that type stuff. Like, he's not willing to. So definitely could improve in tackling. He lacks long speed. So I think he's going to be better in zone coverage. But like I said, he can play man-to-man press. But I would prefer personally to put him in a zone coverage. So like I said, number 9 on the board, Azeria Thomas, and we move on to number 8. That's Benjamin Harrison, who originally was a little bit higher on my board, and then I went through tape and just a couple guys I like a little bit more, but still a damn good player. Benjamin Harrison out of Notre Dame, 6 foot, 193, 4.39 40. Got the speed you're looking for. Last year he only played 6 games, but I had 20 tackles and 4 pass breakups in those 6 games. He missed the rest of the season with a hip injury. But he's got 9 interceptions in his first 2 years at Notre Dame. And guy's a team captain, leader. But he's got a great ability to break on the ball. He goes and gets it, man. He's a big turnover guy. Like I said, 9 picks in the first 2 years there. Great hands, fluid hips. He knows how to high point the ball like a wide receiver. Good play recognition, good awareness, good acceleration. He is physical. He's good versus the run and a good tackler. Only issue on him is he's got short arms. So if I'm going to pick a guy that's very similar to him, I'm going to take the guy with a little bit longer arms. But solid player, probably going to be a day 2 pick. Possibly by the end of the second round, he could be gone, which is where I think he should be going. You look at a team at the end of the second round somewhere, even the Packers, if they trade Jair Alexander, another cornerback news that they want to get him re-signed, but who knows what's going to happen. But definitely some teams in the end of the second round could be looking at this guy, because if it wasn't for the missed games last year, he would be probably higher. But when you got to worry about injuries and, like I said, a little bit shorter arms, definitely going to be a guy that's going to be impactful in the NFL. But where he gets drafted comparative to where he could get drafted without these issues, I don't think it's going to be a huge difference. I do think Benjamin Harrison could have been into the first round pick, but with the other corners coming out in this draft, I'm just going to take the guys that I like a little bit better. So on to number 7, Trey Amos out of Ole Miss. 6'1", 195, 4.43 speed. Good size, good speed, like it a lot. 50 tackles last year, 3.5 tackles for loss, 3 interceptions, 13 pass breakups, and 1 forced fumble. This guy is physical and tough as shit. Quick hips, fast feet, and active hands. He's disruptive, man. That's the word I would like to use for him, is disruptive. He is strong at the top of routes. He fights for the ball. Knows how to fucking attack ball carriers. Closing speed and makeup speed are great. Good play recognition. Really good versus the run. An awesome tackler. Like way better than most corners. His tackling capability is why he's up here more than anything, because if I can put this guy and let him fucking attack all day versus the run, stick him in a zone out there, I'm going to be real happy. But he's good in man-to-man too. He knows how to set up QBs, just playing off the receiver a little bit and then fucking breaking on the ball once the quarterback thinks he's got a man open. So a lot of capabilities with this guy. Love this guy a lot. And like I said, his tackling capability. I love corners that tackle, man. If you can give me a corner that knows how to hold the edge out there and can make a fucking tackle, I'm a happy camper as a coach. That's all there is to it. Set that edge. Defensive end, set the edge. Outside linebacker, set the edge. Corners, set the edge. Nobody gets outside. That's the way that you play defense in my mind. And Trey Amos will fit right into that. So on to number 6. This guy shot up the board as I started watching tape. That's Noel with an H, Williams, out of California, Cal. 6 foot, 199, and 4.50 40 time. Last year he had 52 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 7 interceptions, 9 pass breakups, a forced fumble, and a kick return touchdown. His 7 interceptions led FBS, if that tells you anything about his capabilities. He plays much faster than that 40 time, too. It says 4.50. He's probably playing 4.42, which you love to see, because when he gets on the field, he's quick, man. Quick feet, fluid hips. This dude is shifty with great hands, tough as shit, and has really good instincts. Really good awareness. Knows how to read the quarterbacks. He plays the ball in the air like a wide receiver almost. Got good breaking speed on the ball. Good positioning and man-to-man. Excellent hand fighting. Pop, 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 pop. Like I talked about with some of them offensive linemen and stuff. Being able to fight with those hands is excellent. He's a kick returner. Like I said, he had 1 kick return touchdown. He probably almost could have had a couple more. But he's a weapon with the ball in his hands, man. He goes from defense to offense like some of those safeties we were talking about, where once the ball's in his hands, he's looking to score. And on top of all that, this is another one of his corners that's a strong tackler. He's a legit man-to-man corner and knows how to play the position well. The fact that he isn't higher on a lot of people's boards surprised me. I know a lot of people like Benjamin Harrison, but like I said, with the injuries, I'm always going to dock you for injuries if I got to be concerned about your health coming in. So not going to say that he doesn't deserve to be up here, and I'm not going to be surprised if Benjamin Morrison goes before Noel Williams. I'm just telling you who I like. This guy I like a lot. And you get him in the end of the second round to the middle of the third area, you're going to be damn happy when this guy gets on the field. Not only is he a corner, but he does kick returns and can take it to the house. So, excellent player. Can't wait to see him in the NFL. Can't wait to see where he ends up. That's for damn sure. Number 5, Sione Rebel Jr. out of East Carolina. He is 6'2", 194, and ran a 4.39 40. Good size, good speed, what you're looking for. Last year, he only had 8 tackles with 2 interceptions and 2 pass breakups in 3 games played. So this guy had 2 picks in 3 games. He had a torn ACL last year and was on IR for the rest of the season. Another one of those guys, man. Injuries dock you down a little bit. But a lot of these corners had some injury issues, so I couldn't drive him too far. But this guy is physical with long arms, got great awareness and play recognition. He is strong with active hands. He is instinctual, and he fights for the fucking ball, man. He's got long speed, good position when in man coverage, and he's awesome versus the run. He's quick off the edge as a blitzer and an awesome tackler. Like, you can send this guy on blitzes. You can ask him to run deep with a fucking wide receiver. This guy can play all over the field. And he's another special teams ace, man. They use him as a gunner and a pass rusher. I should say a kick rusher. And he had a block kick. I think he had 2. Maybe not. Maybe it was only just a 1. But came close on a couple. I know that much. Definitely a guy that knows has instincts for the ball. He goes and gets the ball regardless if he's playing special teams or defense. He's a guy that is around the ball often, and I like that a lot. And at 6'2", you're already what I want in the corner. So, player that somebody's going to be happy with, like I said, if it wasn't for the missing, what is it? I forget how many games East Carolina ended up playing, but definitely missed 9 to 10 with a bowl game if they had a bowl game. I don't remember what that was, but only played 3 games last year. But been a productive player in college, man. And to have 2 interceptions in probably 2.5 games last year already shows his capability to go get the ball. Definitely a player I like a lot. I think these DBs might be a little bit deeper than the safety, but I'll go through my final list and get the rankings of players and do a final mock draft, and we'll get to see where all these guys go. So, on to number 4, Maxwell Harnishton out of Kentucky. 5'11", 183 with 4.28 speed, which I believe was the fastest at the combine. No, needless to say, he's fast as hell. Last year, he had 19 tackles, 1 sack, 1 interception that was a pick 6, 4 pass breakups, and 2 forced fumbles, but missed the 5 games last season with a shoulder injury. Now, shoulder I'm not as worried about as much as I am a torn ACL, ankle, something like that. Still a concern, and he could be 3 on this board. This dude's going to make somebody really fucking happy. I think he can go as high as the end of the first round. Probably middle of the second round is more realistic, but if somebody likes him like I do, he could go at the end of the first round. So I wouldn't be surprised. Amazing speed, obviously, 4.28. Great closing burst, physical player. This dude attacks the ball. He reads the quarterback really well and has active hands. He is a man-to-man corner that can play in any defense, and he aggravates the shit out of receivers with his physicality on routes. He's got awesome burst, really good awareness, excellent run support, and he is a hell of a tackler that wraps the fuck up. Again, I want corners that can tackle. Physical fucking corners. This guy, if he makes it to the middle of the second round, I can see Seattle taking him. If he makes it, goes into the first round, Philly could be a team that takes him. Beginning of the second round somewhere, definitely some teams, even Jacksonville could take this guy at the beginning of the second round and be real fucking happy to have him. So, like I said, hell of a tackler. And 4.28 speed, man. You can't hide that. That's fast as shit. So, definitely a guy that's going to come in and make an impact right away in my mind. But on to number 3, and that's Jaden Barron out of Texas. There's a lot of debate for my top 3, just for the fact of the talent that's there. Harrison's probably the cutoff for like true first-round talent to me at 4, but Jade is the cutoff for definite first-round talent. And he's 5'11", 194, ran a 4.39 40, so got the speed. A little bit shorter than I like, but that's okay because of his skills. His skill capability is impressive. Last year, he had 67 tackles, 2.5 tackles for loss, 1 sack, 5 interceptions, and 11 pass breakups. Things that stand out right away, excellent fucking footwork. Tactician with footwork. Great awareness, and he sticks to wide receivers like he's living on them. He's paying rent there because he's with them at all times. Consistently makes plays on the ball. Great use of hands. Got deep speed, knows how to track the ball in the air, and has good switching skills in zone, being able to switch off, even in man. When he's got inside, outside guys, you got to switch off players. Going this way, switch back. His capability to shift speeds, shift positions, shift directions is very, very top notch. Like, just incredible. He's great in run support. He's a good tackler, and he is tough as shit, man. He might be a little shorter on the shorter end for what I prefer, but it doesn't show up with his physicality. He's a man-to-man day one starter. This guy should be going as high as he shouldn't go any lower than probably 25. And that's just a fact, man. I think this guy is going to Tampa or Cincy in the first round at 18, 19 and should not make it past them. If he does, it's probably the Chargers, the Vikings, the Packers, one of those three teams there. Maybe even Denver if they want to stick him with those other two they got with Surtain and Ross. I think it's Ross is the other corner. I forget what the hell dude's name is. But all the same, Jaden Barron's coming in and ready to go day one. Man-to-man, no questions asked. Can play any defense type in my mind. So that's not a concern. But I would love to have this guy as a man-to-man corner. On to number 2. This was even harder to decide who I wanted to put at 1 and who I wanted to put at 2. We all know the names. Will Johnson and Travis Hunter are the last two that we're talking about today. I went with Will Johnson at number 2 simply because he's been injured the last 2 years. I'm not going to lie to you about that. I want healthy players. Will Johnson has everything you want in a corner. Everything. The injuries are the only question. I know some people are worried he didn't run his 40. I'm telling you right now, I don't have a concern about his speed. All right. Last year in 6 games, he had 14 tackles, a tackle for loss, 2 interceptions, and 3 pass breakups. But like I said, he's been injured the last 2 years, so that's always going to be a concern. But talent-wise, I don't even think Hunter's better than him. Talent-wise, I think they're very, very close next to each other. And if it wasn't for the injuries, I probably would have him at number 1. But if I'm a GM of a team, I'm taking everything into consideration. And Travis Hunter's capability to play 2 positions is why I'm giving him the nod. Between Will Johnson's injuries and Travis Hunter's just pure fucking or athletic ability. But as far as Will Johnson goes, man, he is fluid, athletic, has awesome speed. That's what I'm telling you. I'm not worried about him not running a 40. I'm not worried about his deep speed. He has it. He is instinctual to where, to the point it's almost predictive. Like, he knows what's coming before it happens, which tells me 2 things. His awareness is amazing, and he's in the film room. He's watching what these offenses are doing. To be that almost predictive of what's going on, you know he's watching tape. You know he's a study fucking – he's a film rat. Like, you got gym rats in sports, you got a film rat in football, because this dude's a film rat. He's living in the film room. So reads the QBs well in zone or man. This guy's got great hands, and they are fucking active hands. Like, he is pass breakups, interceptions, all that shit. Just trying to strafe down, knock the ball out. Ability to make plays on the ball with pass breakups and interceptions, just active hands. Great breaking speed. Bam. I love people that break on the ball. He's a physical corner that I'm about to say wide receiver. He's a physical corner that jams wide receivers at the line. He's got great play recognition. Like, I'm talking about film study, man. Great awareness, and is a solid tackler. For, like I said, corners aren't man-to-man corners generally aren't going to be great tacklers usually, and not that they can't be. The great ones are. That's why I point this out on all these corners, is that if you can tackle, you're already more valuable than any corner that can't. And if you play man-to-man like Will Johnson does, and you can tackle, you're everything I'm looking for. 6'2", 4.39 speed is what – I don't even know where I got this 40 time, because he didn't run at the combine or the fucking thing. Maybe this is a predicted what he would have ran. Maybe they got some film tape, did some of those fancy stats they do. But all the same, like I said, I got 4.39, but I'm not even sure where that came from. I just think that was some predictive thing, or maybe that's what he ran in college, just on the side somewhere in practice, or when he first got to college. I'm not sure where I got that number from. But like I said, I'm not worried about his speed. If he came out and ran a 4.45, I wouldn't care. That's just a fact. I'm watching the film, and I see how fast he is. And on film, he's fast as shit. So not worried about that at all. And like I said, he'd be number one if it wasn't for the injuries. But number one on the board is Travis Hunter, Colorado cornerback, 6 foot, 188, 4.40 speed. He's a special player, man. I think so whoever drafts him is going to try to play him both ways. Maybe you do like a 30 and 30 play rep, 30 on offense, 30 on defense, because he's got the capability to play both positions. I personally would draft him as a wide receiver. I understand the argument to draft him as a corner because man-to-man corners are harder to come by in the NFL. You can get really good wide receivers, top-notch receivers. There's almost one in every other draft. Almost one in every draft, and in some years there's 2 or 3. But I would still draft him as a wide receiver because I think his capabilities as a wide receiver supersede his capabilities as a cornerback. But he's a superior athlete, long, amazing closing speed. He doesn't lose speed when he's turning to run deep. Excellent footwork, that's part of that. He can jam at the line, or he can run and release with him. He's got great awareness, good play recognition. He's a hip pocket cornerback, man. He's just in their pocket. He's with the receiver at all times. He passes off well in zone, or like I said, when those inside-outside are switching. He's a good tackler, solid versus the run. Nothing to write home about, but definitely not a concern. Like I said, I like him. I would draft him and tell him you're playing 30 and 30. I'm going to use you on the downs that matter most specifically, and then get you in on other plays so I know you're out there doing it. But there's only so much time in a week. Now, I love his attitude of I sleep 8 hours a day and the other 16 I'm doing film study. That I don't have any questions about Travis Hunter as a competitor, as a player, as having his head on straight. None of that shit. I would be happy as hell to draft Travis Hunter. Like I said, he's number 2 on my list simply for the fact that I'm going to value pass rusher more than a corner or a wide receiver. And Abdul's number 1 on the list because he has amazing speed. I think he ran a 4.38 or something. So he's got even more speed than Travis Hunter. But definitely just, like I said, if Will Johnson would have been healthy, I'd have put him in number 1 just because I know I'm drafting him as a top-notch lockdown corner. The fact that Will Johnson's dealt with injuries and that Travis Hunter is a two-way player, he's number 1. And you can argue till your head pops off, till you're blue in the face and all that good stuff about who should be number 1. Some people are going to argue that Jaden Barron should be number 2 over Will Johnson because of the injury concerns. I think Will Johnson's going to be fine this year, going in this year. And as far as health-wise, I love Jaden Barron. I love Will Johnson. I love Travis Hunter. All these guys can play corner at the NFL level, no questions asked. Maxwell Harnishton, another guy. But those 3 specifically are all first-round picks to me. The guys that just missed the list, a couple guys that were right there trying to figure out who's number 10. Darian Porter out of Iowa State. Love this guy's athletic ability. Think he's got a lot of things you can like. But he just needs to develop a little bit more, so I can't put him to where I'm drafting him over somebody who I think is more pro-ready right now. O'Donnell Fortune out of South Carolina, 4.58 40, one of those guys with that lower speed. So he was just down there, and I just like some of the stuff with my guy Melo Datson more than I liked him. You know what I mean? Azeria Thomas, I like some stuff with him. They're all right there, similar speed, at 4.58, 4.59 speed. But if I'm going to pick a guy, I'm going to pick the guy I like more that I think has a little bit more capability to be ready to go. And the last guy that almost made the list was Jacob Parrish, man, out of Kansas State. Fast as shit. Fast as shit. The only thing you knock on him is that speed he's got to learn to control. He's got to get more disciplined on breaking down when he gets closer to the ball because he tends to over-pursue at times. Excellent speed, ready, corner speed, no question asked. I need him to be a more disciplined tackler and more disciplined on reading the play properly, where he takes the correct angle and doesn't over-pursue or he gets out of position. Because once you're out of position against dangerous players, there's no hope. It doesn't matter how much speed you got because they got speed too, some of these running backs and wide receivers. That if you overrun the play, it's over. They're gone. So, but definitely a guy I like, got some skills and probably going to be a 4th-round pick, early 5th at worst. But just a guy that's got some skills, man. Like I said, great speed. Just got to be more disciplined on when breaking down. So, those are top 10 corners, guys. I hope you like the list. You don't like it, tell me about it. You do like it, tell me about it. Tell me who your favorite corner is. I I would like to know what everybody's thinking, man. I can only see what people are putting out. You see mock drafts, some guys are going fucking first round. Next thing you know, they're in the third round in another mock. So there's a lot of questions about this draft. I think you're gonna see more players be effective out of this draft than what they're talking. The defense specifically is stacked. I like some of these quarterbacks more than other people. I like a lot of these receivers more than other people. I think it's a deeper class than people are giving credit for. You just don't have the superb talent right at the top. You have Hunter, you have McMillan, and then you got guys that all have capability to be definite number twos and potential number ones. A guy like Jaden Higgins and stuff. But like I said, I'm going to put out my last mock draft in the coming days here before the draft and let you guys know what I think is going to happen. Other than that, we're going to get out of here. I hope everybody's having a good day, good afternoon, evening, morning, whatever time you're listening. Till next time, First Down Punts, man, we're out.